Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Coffee with Rhadi. I have a lot of new exciting stuff, as many of you have seen on the internet and have watched. I'm now training a professional wrestler and MMA fighter, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is an awesome specimen. He was a four-time All-American, NAIA All-American, three-time NAIA wrestling champion. I knew Bobby when he was training at the Olympic Training Center, along with the world-class athlete program that the Army has set up. Things are going excellent in that direction. Many of you know that my son Rufus is also wrestling. He's taking a little bit of time off the wrestling mat as some of his studies for Kumon have ramped up. What else is going on? Oh, some exciting stuff. When I was growing up, there was this big Afrocentric hip-hop movement, if you will, when everybody had the the cross-colored jeans on, the little leather necklaces with the African piece on, and everybody had on their green, black, and red deal, and it was around the time of the late 80s, early 90s. And during that time, Public Enemy was a very strong voice in the hip-hop game. I had every single Public Enemy album ever. They were my favorite group. I think they still are. In terms of rap groups, if I don't really listen to rap that more, I really love Public Enemy. I had the opportunity to watch the, I think it was VH1 or MTV, the Hip Hop Honors the other night, and Public Enemy came on, and I was absolutely hyped. And my son never heard Public Enemy before, my son Rufus, so he had an opportunity to experience Public Enemy as I used to experience Public Enemy. It was cool because it was nostalgic while still being exciting at the same time, because I was still living in the moment, watching my son groove to PE like I used to groove to PE. One of my favorite lines of PE was "Juice on the loose, electric wire. Simple and plain, give me the lane, I'll throw it down your throat like Barkley. See my car keys, you'll never get these. They belong to the 9-8 posse." Well, that's enough of me talking. Now we need to cut to the video so you can see my man Rufus get down with a little bit of PE. I caught your pants. You're scared of this now. Come on. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. Come on, Rupert. When I'm on fire, juice on the loose, electric wire. Give me the lane, I'll throw it down your throat like Barkley. See my car keys, you'll never get these. They belong to the 9-8 posse. If you haven't friended me on Facebook, please make sure that you become my friend on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter is twitter.com/Rhadi. That's Rhadi. Today, the quote of the day, which I put on my Facebook, is feelings are an effective quality that effective people cannot really afford to have much of. I'm not concerned with how you feel. Tell me how you think. If there's one thing that I've noticed from being an athlete, being a professional, being an entrepreneur, is that you can't get it caught up in what people say about you. You can't get caught up in people's criticisms of you, nor can you really get caught up in how you feel so much. I'm not saying that emotions aren't important. I'm not saying that I don't have feelings, that I'm not romantic with my wife, and that I'm not, I don't, pay attention to how my son feels. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being effective at high levels. Where you have to remove how you feel from a situation, and you have to make a quality decision. Case in point, when training professional athletes, okay, or individuals who are trying to develop into professional athletes, you have to almost remove the human side of that person and create two people. I'm sure that you can agree that how some people are in the environment of play and how they are when they're with their family is different. Now, what happens is with great athletes, sometimes this particular line of separation of athlete and regular person get blurred. This happens with certain athletes in the NFL. This happens with athletes in the NBA. It also happens with athletes in the sports of mixed martial arts, in all sports. This is where you see problems occur when you start seeing these people on ESPN or in the news, because certain things have happened in their life because the warrior side has spilled over into the general public side. It's very important to create sometimes you need to create like a spiritual and sometimes emotional or cognitive chasm between who you are as an athlete and who you are as a regular individual. That's very different to do, because when you're training a mixed martial arts athlete, sometimes you're training that person to basically go out and be prepared to have his life, not even protect, I was going to say his limbs, but to put his life on the line or her life on the line, or be ready to have a limb or limbs dislocated or hurt, or to be choked unconscious. It's very difficult to put somebody in that state of mind. Excuse me. Or if you're training people in special forces, you have to train them to put their life on the line, and they no longer care about their life, but about the task at hand and the life of others, if you will. You have to make sure that these people can just do. They don't have an option of saying, I don't feel like going today. I don't really feel like doing it. But they don't have an option of being scared. They have to do and operate on command. And when it comes to being highly effective, especially in the environment of play, you can't be effective if you have that particular effective quality in terms of feeling. Case in point, I remember a fight when George St. Pierre, who's a good MMA fighter, came and sat out in the corner,